Second RTC is I am the poem of the earth, said the voice of the rain, eternal I rise, impalpable out of the land and the bottomless sea, upward to heaven, whence vaguely formed altogether change, and yet the same. What poetic device has been the poet has uses? What makes him use this device? Why he is using and which device he is using? Actually, we are to tell that. The poet has made use of, I told you in the poem, personification. Since he wants to talk to the raindrops, he wants to get the answers of his questions. So in order to know about the rain, the phenomena, the poet has used this poetic device. What does the rain say about its origin? You know what is the origin of the rain? Obviously the water bodies. The rain says that due to evaporation, it keeps on rising from the land and unfathomable sea, unmeasurable sea, endless, bottomless sea, and moves towards the sky where it changes its shape. So next, I rise impalpable. Impalpable is, which we can't touch. Impalpable. When the rain rises from the surface or the ocean, it can't be seen by the people. Nobody can see it anyhow. Next paragraph. I descend to lap the draughts, atomies, dust layers of the globe, and all that in them without me were seeds only, latent, unborn, and forever by day and night I give back life to my own origin, make it pure and beautify it. So the first question is, having risen upward to the heaven, rain attains an envious position. What is an envious position? When you feel jealous to somebody that he or she is at a higher position as compared to me. Then why does it then descend? Descend means come down again. When the rain goes upward, why it comes downward again? So actually it descends once again on the earth. What for? To complete its life cycle. If it doesn't come to the earth, how the water will come back in the water bodies if the rain doesn't come to the earth? So this is a circle, and it is to complete the circle and help in creation a new life. So doing so, it makes it possible for itself to have a new cycle. That's why it has to come down to the earth. What does it do day and night? Obviously, day and night it's giving life to its origin. It's going to purify the land, the trees and all that. So it's just doing its function very well. The rain chooses to revisit the earth as just to the heaven would make it stagnant. If the rain remains at the heaven, it will become stagnant. So it needs to come down, fill the water bodies again, then again with the process of evaporation it starts going upward. How does it give back life to its own origin? It is giving back life to its own origin because I told you in my previous video, if there is no rain, just imagine, if there is no rain, so how the trees will bloom? Rain gives back life to its origin by once again rising heavenwards in the form of vapor, coming down to earth. The seeds with the coming of rain converts into saplings, and saplings grow because of the rainwater, and it gives life. How does rain purify and beautify it? Because obviously repeated evaporation and condensation purifies the rain. The process is going to purify the water. The entire environment gets bathed in the rain. The poem, the rain itself told, when I descend, I just wash the atomies. I just purify the atmosphere. Dust particles settle down in the rain and it becomes clean and beautiful green. For song rising from its birthplace, often fulfillment, wandering, reckoned or unreckoned duly with love returns. So, what was the cycle of the rain being compared to? It's a simple question. The cycle of the rain's life is compared to that of a song in the last two lines. So, what similarity does the poet find between rain's cycle of life and a song? What is the common thing? Just as initially rising from the earth in the form of vapors, the rain comes back to earth. The song also, starting from its point of origin, resounds and its echo is heard at the same place. It comes back after fulfilling its purpose. So let us discuss with one or two more questions. Why are the last two lines put in the brackets? Why? If you see the poem, last two lines are put into the bracket. What was the reason? The last two lines of the poem actually are put within the bracket because it's a comparison of the rain with the song, and it's not the integral part of the poet's experience of the poem. Last two lines. So the lines appear to be an afterthought. After writing the poem, it has come to the poet's mind. It's the afterthought. However, there is no denying the fact that both the rain and the music or the song have a great affinity. Affinity is known as the similarity between them. Next question. Voice is a word which refers to the human voice. For rain, one normally uses the word sound. It's the rain sound. Why does the poet refer to the sound of the rain as the voice of the rain? In the beginning, when the poet asked this question to the rain did not expect any answer. But when, to his great surprise, the rain answered and satisfied his queries, he uses the word voice. Rather, he feels as if he has had a conversation with the rain like a human being, and all his questions were answered in that conversation. Is the rain justified in calling itself the poem of the earth? Undoubtedly. No doubt is there at all. There is something poetic. When we call the poem of the earth, in poem there should be something poetic in the natural phenomena and its unperceived ascent, going up to the sky, and to the graceful, smooth and beautiful descent has nothing but a music, a rhythm. Its rhythmic pit-pat also gives it a license to call itself the poem of the earth. So that's all about the RTC and some extra questions which can be asked in the examination. That's all. Thank you.